Masterline with realistic sounds. Whoa, what? Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be unboxing some various parcels which have arrived in the mail recently. I have no idea what are in any of these, but we're going to find out today. We'll start, I don't know, maybe with this thinner one right here, and then we'll kind of go up size-wise. Anyway, let's find out what we've got here. Got a small, like, folder type thing. And inside is a whole variety of stuff. I'm just going to check to make sure there are no addresses or anything. So since this letter was 4 pages long, I decided just to go ahead and read it off camera. If any of you want to read it out, I'll show each page so you can pause the video and read it out for yourselves. In short, basically, I guess you saw my video on the Varney locomotive, which I purchased last spring. And he actually shared a little bit of his experience in the hobby and some of the models he collects, as well as he also sent some actual parts diagrams, some copy of some vintage Varney parts diagrams, which is absolutely excellent because for the first time I can actually see specifically what these things look like. So here's just some of the products that Varney had at one point. I think this would be 1950s kind of era. And here we actually have a breakdown of the A and B units from Varney. So this looks like this might be the exact one. There were 2 different ones. One of them, I believe, is my model. The other one might not be because I think they might be slightly different. But in any case, these are super helpful. So yeah, thank you so much, Paul, for sending these in. I do appreciate it. Oh, actually, there's 3 of them. I believe this one right here is the one I have. I made a mistake when I made that video because it said somewhere on it, I believe 1947, but it turns out that the part numbers just happen to be in the 1940s. So that locomotive was in fact not from 1947. I suspect it was from the 1950s. But yeah, here are all the different parts on it. Quite the diagram. And there's also this which I liked, which I believe this is, I don't know if this is the Varney Lindsay Supermotor, but this is one of their 7-pull motors, which looks very similar to the one I found in one of my Varney steam locomotives last year as well. So there's a good diagram of that as well. So thank you very much, Paul. I really do appreciate it. There's actually 2 of them. Interesting. So there's all that. He also sent in some Hershey-related stuff too, which is quite a nice touch. So thank you very much. Anyway, on to the next parcel, which is this little one right here. Let's see what we got. So we got a letter of some sort right here. Hello, I see this box arrived at your door. This box contains an on-running locomotive by Lima. Hope you enjoy it, Tommy. Let's see, I suspect it's a Lima 040, but let's look at specifically what we've got here. Just be careful not to cut into the model here. All right, well, there's the locomotive. Thank you so much for sending me this, Tommy. I don't know what is going on right here. Looks like maybe somebody tried to add a capacitor or something to this thing and a light. So yeah, that should make for an interesting project. These little Lima 040s tend to be pretty tough, mostly just because they're very simple locomotives, so I guess, not even without running it, we could probably get this running again. So yeah, thank you so much for sending that. Anyway, on to the next parcel. Oh, looks like we got a letter. Hello, Harrison. Back in November on one of your live streams, somebody asked for the Chef-Boyardee boxcar, and you said you don't have one. I found one at a train show in December and wanted to send it to you. I included some other miscellaneous items I thought you might use for your layout. There are some wire strippers since you lost yours, so you don't have to use scissors. I also included a video challenge if you're interested to install an LED light in a train added a finished one and all the parts to make one from scratch. And the instructions, you don't need to read the instructions now, but I hope this is some helpful information. Love your videos and live streams. David of DB Tech. Thank you so much, David. So I think like the third time David of DB Tech has sent something in. So yeah. Oh, awesome, more beef jerky. This stuff is fantastic, by the way. And I don't know what this is. Yeah, check that out. Looks like an N-scale cottage of some kind. I think this is probably one of his 3D printed pieces. Button and switches. Must have come off something. Okay, so there's the LED, which I guess I need to somehow install in a locomotive. So that should make for a fun project. I don't know what engine I want to try this on, but there's got to be one out there that this would be special on. Ooh. Got some clippers and a pair of needle nose pliers. Very nice. I think that's the main piece. Wire strippers. Very nice. And I think the rest of it is just, we got some figures and some nuts and bolts. Some of these pieces for attaching wires. And yeah, a few switches and a button. Very nice. Let's have a look at the boxcar now. I'm pretty excited to see what this looks like. Look at that. That's great. Wow, thank you so much, David. Really do appreciate that. This is an old TYCO boxcar, but yeah, it's sort of been a bit of a meme on the live streams. The Chef-Boyardee boxcar. There have been a fair amount of people who have mentioned this, and now there's one here. So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. Anyway, on to the final parcel. This showed up from Tillsonburg, Ontario. So let's have a look. I'm just going to shorten my blade so hopefully I don't cut into anything that might be inside the box. Happy 20th birthday, Harrison. Cheers from David Z to G. Wow. Well, it looks like the famous David Z to G scale has struck again. Let's see what this is about. Let me just see. I don't know if there's anything on here. Okay, that's just an invoice or something. I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to read that. Anyway, let's see what we have inside here. Let's get some of these packing peanuts out. Well, I don't know what this is. Something from Atlas. Masterline with realistic sounds. Whoa, what? A Delaware Hudson? Wow. This looks pretty fancy. What kind of locomotive is this? It's a low-nose Delaware Lackawanna C420. Wow. Okay. Well, I was certainly not expecting this. This looks very fancy. Let's have a look. Wow, look at that. Amazing. Now, I believe this, Atlas actually, they screw the locomotives down to this for shipping just to make sure they stay secure. So I'm going to go get a screwdriver. We'll take this thing out, and then maybe we'll take it on a test run, because this looks like a extremely nice locomotive. Just look at the detail on that thing. My goodness. Look at the detail on that. I really can't believe this. Thank you so much, David. Really do appreciate it. Wow. Well, I really can't say I was expecting to get anything quite like this. This is a really nice locomotive. I mean, just check out the detail on it. Really, really sharp. And apparently it's sound equipped too, so I'm really excited to see exactly how this thing performs on the layout. So yeah, why don't we go take this thing over to the track and see how it runs and how it sounds. I'm pretty excited about this thing. Really, really cool. Let's go check it out. Atlas actually does include little things to put in the holes where the screws went, so just install those like that. Pretty straightforward. It's got the sun visors all installed too. I noticed that they actually did in fact put figures in the cab too. What a nice detail. Okay, I think we can go run this thing now. Okay, let's get this thing all set up on the track. Oh, it's making some kind of noise. Huh, alright. Well, let's set it to 3, see if it will do anything. Give it some power here. Ah, yeah, look at that. That is, that's quite fancy right there. It doesn't seem to make any sounds while it idles, but it's actually making sounds of scraping against the rails and stuff. Huh. That's interesting, and if I click this... I might have to do some changes with this. Oh, there we go. Now I got the light on. The light wasn't responding for a second there. It might just be the controller. I find this thing needs to be reset after a certain amount of time. That just sounds terrific. And do we have a bell? Yeah, it would appear so. This is really quite the engine. Let's see, let's shut that bell off. I think this is for that coupler. That's it. That sounds quite nice. Number 4 doesn't seem to do anything. 5 is quiet too. 6 doesn't. 7 doesn't seem to make any noise. 8 usually mutes. Okay. Huh. This is a little bit funny. When you press 8, the mute light on my controller comes on, but then the engine actually starts making sound. Now, if I click it again, the engine still makes sound. There's definitely some programming I think I need to figure out, but it certainly does not take away from this being an absolutely fantastic locomotive and a ridiculously generous gift. I can't believe this. Yeah. And that horn, I just can't get enough of it. It just sounds great. Alright, what a locomotive. Here it is, all hooked up to some cars. The engine just looks absolutely fantastic, and you gotta love the way it sounds too. Let's blow that horn again for kicks. And that's right there about its top speed. We can slow it down, I think, to get something a little bit more realistic. Headlights nice and bright on it. Let's put the bell on so that we can do all the proper signaling for the level crossing. I learned this once at my model railroading club. I believe it's 2 mediums, a short, and then I think you're supposed to blow the horn right through the crossing. Wonderful. This may be a nice looking train, but I think it's missing one thing. A Chef-Boyardee boxcar. Oh yes, look at that. It's perfect now. Well, folks, looks like that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Paul, I'd like to thank you very much for the letter and the copies of the Varney instructions. It was very thoughtful of you to send this, and this might just come in handy too next time I'm working on one of these Varney diesels. I actually just today ordered a second Varney diesel, also with a die-cast frame that looks to be in really poor condition. So we'll see if that ever turns up, you know, if maybe it will match these diagrams. So that might be very helpful, so thank you. Tommy, thank you so much for the Lima steam locomotive. I think with a little bit of work, we can probably get this little number running once again, so that should make a fun project in the future. David of DB Tech, thank you so much for all the various things you sent. Thanks for the beef jerky and all these new tools and this cool new project. And let's not forget the Chef-Boyardee boxcar. So yeah, thank you very much for all that. Super generous of you. And finally, David Z2G Scale, thank you so much for sending this diesel locomotive. It's just a ridiculously generous gift, and I can't thank you enough for it. So yeah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, with that, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching.